Hey, what's going on, guys? WRX Garage here. I got another video for you guys. In the last video of me doing the head unit, the speakers, subwoofer, and adding an amplifier for the subwoofer, a couple guys asked me to do a review of the head unit, so I thought let's do, a little review. And while we're at it, I'll do a review of the speakers and the subwoofer as well, and go through and let you guys know what I think of everything. So let's go through.
Hey guys, I'm just jumping in real quick to give a little bit of an overview of essentially why you need to replace your head unit, or why you want to replace your head unit. On the stock Subaru head unit, this is what we have for the 2016s through the 2018s, and I believe it got updated from there. These are without Kyle. Neither Kyle nor I had the Harman Kardon version. And I'll talk a little bit about that as well, specifically about the specs of those. But what are some of the issues with the stock head unit from Subaru? One, they are severely underpowered, which means that the built-in amp that amplifies the signal that goes to your door speakers is crazy low, which means I think that it's probably only 10 watts RMS, maybe less, from this stock head unit. Second, the sound quality out of the stock head units is pretty terrible as well, which means that the equalizer and the mechanics on how the audio signal is handled is pretty bad. One specific thing about that, it definitely condenses all audio signals. If it's coming in from Bluetooth, if it's coming in from auxiliary, it condenses the sound profile for the computer to be able to better handle. And then also it removes some of the low-end frequencies, and then also a lot of the high-end frequencies. It completely cuts those out, so which means that even if you're sending high-quality full signal audio from your phone on Bluetooth to this head unit, it's not sending that same full-range signal out to your speakers. So that's one issue. Second is the Bluetooth on this is very weak. And a lot of people have talked to us about, and what we've heard back is that, and Kyle and I specifically have both had issues with Bluetooth being spotty. Sometimes it doesn't want to connect. Sometimes it just randomly disconnects. Yeah. So those are the main reasons. And then of course you have a pretty, there's a lot of other specific features like Apple CarPlay and things like that that our head units don't have that an aftermarket will have. So that's about it from me. Let's go back to Kyle and hear what he has to say about the new Pioneer head unit that he installed.
All right, so this is the CarPlay. So works like CarPlay of any other car. You can click on your music and you can see what if you have like Apple Music, you can go through. It works super well. It's really quick and responsive. There's not a delay, so that's really good. Navigation works fantastic. You could go through, you can search with your voice. So I have the microphone right there, works out pretty well. You could search with your voice and or go on here and type yourself, or even start it on your phone and it'll just pick it up from here, which is nice. You could also do Waze on here. There's a couple other apps, Spotify, anyone that uses Spotify, but it's very fluid. It's so much better. It doesn't lag like the other head unit. Messages are cool. If someone sends you a text message, you can click on it and it'll read it to you. That's really nice. Sound wise, it sounds good. I think it gives out enough juice to the speakers, unlike the old head unit, which I think only gave like 6 watts. Maybe we could play our intro song. Steering wheel controls, they work perfect. The only thing I didn't do was you can do a single tap or you can do a hold. So I didn't make hold for volume up and down to also be volume down. So if you just hold down, it doesn't do anything. It only goes down a few. So I'll have to, maybe play with that. But so far it works out great. All the, obviously all the Bluetooth ones, the calling, that works out fine. But then if you go out of CarPlay, you could then just go to save radio. Let me turn it down. So radio works good. You can go through, I didn't even set these yet. You can go through, I don't really listen to the radio that much, but this one also has HD, like the high def radio, so it does sound better than just your normal radio. This is the 2660. I think they have a 2600 and that doesn't have HD, but this is pretty good. This is like 350 bucks. It's the same price as the Android one. The only difference is that this one gets more expensive because you need the Maestro kit as well to keep the steering wheel controls, whereas the Android, it's kind of plug and play. I mean, there's a lot of shit you got to do with it though. But reverse camera, I did fix that. I grounded it and it definitely made it a little bit more clear. The only thing is it definitely looks like fisheyed because this screen is just a little bit wider. So it's just trying to give you more, but it's not really supposed to be this big, but it works, it works good. No complaints there. Radio works good. You can also do Bluetooth audio, Spotify. If you have a front camera view, you can also click this and it'll show you what the front camera is. I don't have any, so that's not gonna do anything. But you can set that up. You could change this background any color. You can change these to any color. So you can go, let's see. So, let's see if the camera can pick that up. So it's blue, you can make it red, orange, yellow. You can customize your color. You could then do, you can do the rainbow effect, which is cool. But I'm gonna leave it at blue, so it matches those, matches the car. You can also change the background if you plug in with your USB, like a little flash drive. You can download pictures, so you can have like the background of like your car or whatever. Now, I didn't go with the Maestro RR kit because now if I did that, I would have been able to have all my gauges on here, tire pressure. If I had a check engine code, I could read it, see what it is, and mess with it all from here. But it does have a cord that plugs into the OBD2 and then goes into the Maestro kit. So I was like, if I'm gonna get an access port, it doesn't, I could get one of those splitters to run both, but I'm just gonna have an access port, so I can get all those features on there. So that's what I'll do. But that is my review of the head unit. Oh, the equalizer is awesome because you could totally on the fly change everything. The settings are awesome. You could go through here and just like, I don't even have the bass boost. I have it only at +2 because I was just messing with it. If I go to +6, this thing's crazy. And then I don't know if I showed you guys, but this is where I mounted the control knob. So let's see if I can get it from here. So while I'm driving, it's just right here, and I can just go and turn it up and turn it down, which is good. We went for a drive yesterday. My girlfriend was loving it because she was in the car. I turned it down, and then it was just me and John. Turned it all the way up, and we were having fun. So it's very, very nice. It's only like $30, and it's one wire. You just run it with everything else. So on that side, I ran the RCAs, the blue remote turn on, and then the switch for the amp all on that side, and then on this side I just ran the power so that everything was separate. It's super easy actually. I thought it was going to be a lot harder, but to remove those little kick plates down there, all you got to do is pry them all up and they all just come right up. And there's a nice little cable tray already for you. You don't even have to tie wrap anything. It's all nice and straight, and then you already have the glove box removed to take this out, and you can just come up here, go behind the glove box, you come right in here. So it was pretty easy. So speakers now. I got the Infinity Primus. I wanted a really low impedance speaker because basically the lower impedance, the more power you're actually going to get out of it. So because I was going with just the head unit, I wasn't going to get like say a 5-channel amp and power up the speakers more. So I think this puts out 22 watts RMS, and I think it's like 50 for peak. So it's 3 times more powerful than the old one. So far it's pretty good. The only thing I didn't change were these tweeters. I could change and get the kicker ones, which are like $100, which are kind of crazy, but they are OEM, so they just bolt right up. And basically you just take those grates off, take the 2 bolts out, unplug it, plug in the new one, put the bolts back in and put the grate back and you're done. That's why it's $100, because it's super easy. You don't have to customize anything because tweeters are very difficult to get one that fits in there perfectly. So I could do those. I might do those eventually just to finish all the speakers. But I didn't do an amp because it just was starting to get too expensive to get a bigger amp. I got that amp super cheap, and I got the subwoofer super cheap. So I did, and obviously the subwoofer enclosure I got for 150 bucks, which really worked out well. I love it. I even sent the guy a message yesterday saying you should really just make these and sell these, because it worked out great. So the speakers, the Infinity Primus, they're a low impedance. I think they're only like 2.5 ohms resistance, which is pretty crazy. They bolted right up, super easy. I didn't have to drill any holes at all. So if you go on Crutchfield, if you put it as the front, if you put them that you're putting them in the front, they give you the brackets that you need for free. So I just put 2 as fronts, and I use those brackets in the rear, so I didn't have to drill any holes, and it just fit in perfectly. Oh, what is Vanessa on?
Vanessa said okay. Hey YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to WRX Garage if you haven't already.
Wow.
Would you like to reply?
No.
Okay.
So that is CarPlay messages. When you click on them, and read them to you, which is pretty fantastic, although just be careful if you have people in the car. You don't want to click on a message that you don't want everyone else to hear. So yeah, so the speakers, everything went in super easy. It literally takes 5 minutes per door. I mean, it's just, especially if you just remove those 2 bolts. We just flipped the door panel. So if you're looking at it this way, we just flipped it that way. So that part was on the ground. You didn't have to remove any of the bolts. You just put a little towel down. The door held itself up. 3 bolts, remove the old speaker, plug the new one in, you're good to go. So that was really nice. So now we will just go look at the subwoofer. So I went for the 10-inch Kicker Comp R. This is a, like I said, 10-inch speaker. This is the 2 ohm version. So I'm running this at 4 ohms at 300 watts. I initially was going to run it at 400 watts at 1 ohm, but just asking like online, everyone said the 4 ohm is, you're not really going to notice that big of a difference in power, but what you're going to gain is just, it's not going to run as hot. So because I'm mounting the amp right here, which I still got to add my bracket to, that it's not going to cause heat, and you're not going to have like a heat issue, which is what I was looking for, because I am mounting this in the phone. But everything just went in real nice. I still got to just get a little bracket just to hold up the other side, but it fits in there pretty good. Everything is working out. We haven't had any issues at all, which is great. The only issue is that I wish I did this first. I should have done this before an exhaust, as crazy as that sounds. That this just has changed. It's just so much better. Plugging in your phone takes minutes, you know, really seconds compared to minutes. It just works out so well. So I would definitely recommend this to anyone. Definitely the auto harness house. They made this, it was basically plug and play. I didn't even show you guys because I didn't think that it would go in that quick. So we plugged in everything and then we tested it and everything worked. And I was like, well, okay, that was really easy. Everything has one partner, and it's just plug, and then you splice in the micro bypass and the blue turn on, and you're good to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me turn you guys around here. So thank you guys so much for watching. That was my review of the head unit and the speakers and the subwoofer. I'll link everything in the description below, or let you guys know what I got. Basically Crutchfield. If you need any help trying to decide what do I need, what do I don't need, Crutchfield is real nice. You put in your car exactly, tells you what you need, and they're pretty spot on. You can even email them for help. They also price match too, because the Maestro RR was a little bit cheaper on Sonic Electronics. So I emailed them if they would match it, and they said they would, but I ended up going a different route. But it is cool that they do that. So Crutchfield, if you need help, any questions, just comment below, and we try to answer like every comment that we get. So if you guys have any questions, so plug and play, reverse, steering wheel controls, everything works, no issues. I think it looks, I mean, I really like the look of the Android ones because it used that whole area, but I heard too many bad reviews, or too many, like, it works great, but then after 6 months it's not working. I don't want to spend $350 and then 6 months later have to go out and spend what I would have spent if I just did this the first time. It doesn't really make sense. So far I'm happy with it. The only thing I might do is the tweeters. Maybe down the road, if I really want to keep this car for a while, maybe I'll change out that amp from a 1 channel to a 5, and, you know, get an amp for all the speakers. I could do that. So it gives me options. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. We got more videos on the way. Kevin's got a big project coming along. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.